So I asked the community if you'd be interested in a video about how to build an advisory board and how to use that to raise funding. So here's the video for you. So for context, this assumes that you've already found your industry niche that you want to roll up and put several companies together. So really, you're at this position now where you've decided on your industry, you're ready to go out and find the deals. And this video really is going to talk about how you build that dream team and how you use that to then um, raise raise finance. So you want a chair, first of all, you want a finance expert, and you want a legal expert, and you also want an industry expert. So this could be the chair, but I do like lots of opinions. So having two industry experts give you two separate views on things. So the chair you're going to give the highest percentage of equity to, and you want to make sure that this person really has your back and you really trust. So they're going to have years of experience chairing companies, and ideally they're going to come from your industry that you want to roll up in, and they're also going to have considerable M&A experience. Your finance expert is going to potentially be semi-retired or retired from a Big Four accounting firm, and they'll specifically, again, have M&A experience. Your legal expert, the same, but from a top 20 law firm, and ideally an international law firm, and specifically with M&A experience, not just corporate law. And even better if they've got experience within your industry, but I would say that that's not as essential. So these people don't get paid anything until the deal is done, but you do issue them with new shares in your vehicle. So I'd probably go with 10% for your chair, 5% for everyone else, and you might offer slightly more, maybe 7.5% if they're going to do more for their share, but we'll talk about that more later. So this then means that you've got a world-class team, two from industry that have walked the walk you're about to embark on probably many times, and a world-class finance person and legal person. And once you've built your board, you will go and meet the banks and the financial institutions, and you'll go with the message that you're ultimately looking to make acquisitions in whichever industry it is that you've chosen. And if you were to bring them a deal, are they, firstly, the question you're going to ask is, are they in lending mode? And if so, what's their lending criteria? And then you'll find which banks are interested, to find which banks to go and talk to, have a look in the trade press for other deals that have happened and see who's funded them, and then basically go and talk to them. And it's really important that you ask if they are lending not just locally but nationally. So this is probably more relevant to our US community, but sometimes you'll find in the US that the smaller banks will really only look at that particular state where they're based, whereas you may want a lender that's willing to lend to a business in any state in the US. So at this stage, you're not looking to bring a deal, you're just doing some market research to find out who's lending and what their criteria is. And you'll then ask your legal expert and your finance expert to find a top 10 accountant and a top 10 law firm to represent you on a contingent fixed fee basis. Now, they're going to use their contacts and their expertise to get those terms for you. So do the Big Four accounting firms work on this basis? Yes, absolutely. They may initially tell you that they don't, but when you have heavy hitters on your board that potentially have previously worked for that organization, many years experience and credibility, you'll get them excited about the future accounting, legal and tax and audit work that you're going to potentially be a big client for them. So they will. Then, when you've got a deal that you've structured based on what you can borrow, which is usually for most 1 to 2 times EBITDA, you go and take your board or some people from your board to the meeting with the bank to present the deal. And being able to demonstrate at this point that you have a Big Four accountant, a top 10 international law firm, a world-class board will help you to convince the bank to do the deal. So when you're presenting the deal to the bank, you want to know that basically they're fundamentally interested in two things. One is the cash flow. Is there enough to service the debt, the debt you're looking to take on to do the deal? And the people behind the business are world class, and you have a plan and they're confident in their ability to execute it. So where do you find these people? Well, you can find them on LinkedIn. You can make a proposal to them. You send them a direct message outlining the basics of what you want to talk about, and you send a one-pager outlining what you're building and why. So these people probably don't need money because they've already had a successful career and probably very financially secure, but they will be incentivized by their equity stake, and you can pay them success fees per deal, and this then gives them something interesting to get involved in. So they'll be concerned about their reputation. So your plan needs to be credible, and the reason why they'll work with you is because ultimately you're the facilitator of all of this. You'll bring the deals and the confidence that you're going to deliver. So clearly there's a lot more to it than that, but this is the general principle. So when you're working with ourselves on a joint venture basis, and you want to go and roll up in an industry, well, if you're working with us in this way, this is how we help you build your strategic board and raise the funding for deals using this methodology. So if you're interested to learn more about how we can work together on a JV basis, you can reach out to me and book a call.